Hello whiskey lovers and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. Bit of a special rambling this time around because it's a trip of the Lowlands. I've just arrived in Bonnie, Scotland, in Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, and I'm here with a couple of friends to visit the Independent Spirits Festival. But of course, one does not simply come over from Belgium to Edinburgh for a whiskey festival. No, we made it a journey of 5 days, so that would allow us to tour the Lowlands and visit no less than 5 distilleries. So please join me on this liquid quest. And our first stop takes us here in the heart of Edinburgh to the somewhat newish Holyrood Distillery. So we've arrived at the second distillery we'll be visiting on this trip to Edinburgh. And I'm here at the Rosebank Distillery. Founded in 1840 already by James Rankine, who converted maltings into the Rosebank Distillery. And it was a renowned Lowland single malt, triple distilled, floral, a very high demand for this whiskey, but nevertheless it closed in 1993. This had nothing to do with the quality of the spirit or the quality of the whiskey. No, this had everything to do with the fact that the costs for the affluent system, the roadworks and whatnot would be prohibitive. And so Diageo, well, United Distillers, the precursor to Diageo, closed the distillery in 1993. And then it lay dormant for many, many years. And at a certain point in time, thieves actually broke into the distillery and stole all the equipment. And so for a long time, it looked like Rosebank would never be revived. But then Ian MacLeod Distillers to the rescue in 2017. They restored it, kept some of the old elements and added some very modern elements indeed. And in 2023, they started distilling again. So let's go visit the Rosebank Distillery.
Right, so the cask at the top row at the very end, this is actually our last ever filled cask here at Rosebank. So it was filled in 1993 and it's filled in an American oak ex-bourbon hogshead cask. So you're going to get obviously that lovely golden colour, caramel, vanilla, all from that cask there. Once again, top row at the very end, this is our European oak sherry butt. And it's actually the oldest cask we have here, so it was laid down in 1989. Once again, like I said, you're going to be getting a lot of the more kind of richer, spicier, darker colours with your sherry in those type of casks. But of course, we have our most special cask here of all, and that is our first ever cask of our brand new Rosebank. So as you can see, it was filled on the 18th of July 2023. It's coming up to 3 years old this year, which is very, very exciting. It was filled by Leonard Russell himself, the owner of Holyrood Distillery.
So we've arrived at the third distillery that we will be visiting on this trip, and we are at the Falkirk Distillery, another lowland distillery, founded in 2010 by George Stewart, but it took until 2020 before it was completed. Funding, building, they started production in 2020. So the first releases were there in 2023, so we can actually taste their single malt. And they adhere to a clean, lighter lowland style produced in historic pot stills. Let's go find out. So this is the wash still and the spirit still at the Falkirk Distillery. It may be a new kid on the block as a distillery, but they're actually using historical equipment because these are the stills from the former distillery of Cape Tonic. Liquid history.